as the main bulk of my session is around introducing you to the Student Competition Organiser programme, as well as talking about the World Tennis Number, which we'll follow on in a second. Perfect. So essentially, what the Competition Organiser programme is about is introducing a development pathway for competition organisers and officials across Tier 2 and 3 universities, but I believe it's open to some of the Tier 1 universities as well. Ultimately, we're looking to massively, perfect, cheers Alistair, ultimately we're looking to massively increase the number of competitive opportunities at universities, as well as the number of students within university tennis that are utilising their ITF World Tennis Number. We're looking to increase the number of officials regularly delivering competition, and as Alistair mentioned, you know, ideally we'll be looking at that sort of younger age bracket than what you may notice as your typical official at the moment. So the university and university students are the absolutely perfect market to start introducing them to officiating, with the ultimate outcome really of developing a group of student officials that can be employed at large bucks events and then across the wider LTA tournament structure as well, if they wish. So how is the programme going to look? So apologies if some of the text is a little bit small, but I'll talk through it all. So in year 1, we're proposing that a university nominate 2 student officials to complete their online competition organiser course. Now, this is a 3-hour online course, which will prepare and provide the knowledge and expertise in which to deliver match play competitions. So this will be completely free to the 2 students at each university. It does come with officiating credits as well, which will support them in the future if they wish to become licensed officials and as they develop across the pathway further. And these will be specially designed courses, very similar to our existing competition organiser course, but very much directed in solely preparing these individuals to deliver match play competition in a university setting in the best way possible. Following that course, each university will then be set a target of delivering 3 match play events across that academic year. So we will be looking to deliver these competition organiser courses around mid to late October, and that competition organiser will then have the remainder of the academic year to look to deliver 3 match play events, with the caveat that all of the results from those match play events have to be recorded using Results Manager or TTP in order for each of those results to count for the player's World Tennis Number. Moving into year 2, the LTA will then provide the opportunity for all student officials that have previously completed their competition organiser course to complete their LTA referee course. Now, this is a same as a competition organiser course, fully recognised qualification. It is a 2-day course, so it's split over 2 days, separated by about 6 to 7 weeks. And within that 6 to 7 week gap, officials are expected to complete 2 days of shadowing alongside an existing LTA licensed official at a competition. Once the student officials have completed their referee course, they'll then be able to become an LTA licensed official. And it's at that stage where they can start to support or deliver themselves events across the LTA 1-day competition programs, so grade 4 and grade 5 competition. They'll be able to complete court supervision at LTA week-long competitions. So from a regional point of view, that would be grade 3 and 4s, but they'll also be able to make themselves available for selections at grade 2 and grade 1 competitions. And at that stage again is when we'll first start to introduce them into becoming assistant referee and court supervisor at the large bucks competitions. And the final step of the programme, which will be going into year 3 and then ongoing, is The student officials will then be continually supported and worked with their LTA regional competition development partners in order to increase the number of competition they're delivering on a regional basis, if that's what they continue to wish to do. And they'll also have the opportunity to be identified and selected to come into the existing LTA officiating development programme, which this year has seen 4 officials within their first 4 months of the programme officiating at Wimbledon. So there are quite a lot of exciting opportunities across that officiating development programme. Before I kind of move on to next steps and actions, does anybody have any questions around that sort of proposed programme?
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Claire.
I had just a little question. I think this is great. I was wondering, obviously students roll in and roll out of uni on a 3 or 4 year basis, depending on where they go to uni. Is this something that's going to continue? So people that then come into uni when other students are on their year 2, could they hop in and do their year 1 training? Or is it a kind of a pilot for 3 years with a set of students?
Yeah, no, good question. The way that I envisage it is that a student could come in at any stage and then continue that afterwards. It's really only year 1 where we're providing that free competition organiser course, where it would be important that they're a sort of an active university student at that time. After that period, once they've got that qualification, they can then go on to the referee course at sort of, a year after, essentially. The key thing really would be that they are a university student when they complete that competition organiser course and then deliver those 3 match plays within that university setting across that next academic year.
Perfect, thanks.
Anybody else before I move on? Perfect. So in terms of next steps, so very important step really is start just thinking about and try and recruit some suitable individuals that you think may benefit or be interested in this programme. So they absolutely can be existing students that may have already delivered some competition. They may be some brand new students that you might see across sort of Freshers' Fair in the coming weeks. But yeah, just start thinking about those individuals that you think may be suitable for this. Grab their contact details, and then Alistair and myself will be in touch within the next sort of couple of weeks to start sharing the dates and sending through the links of the upcoming competition organiser courses, which, as I mentioned, will be sort of mid to late October. Some of them may flow into November, depending on sort of student availability. Essentially, we can be quite flexible with these dates. So if the initial dates that we put out there aren't 100% suitable, but you do have people that are really keen, please do just let us know, because we can put on some additional dates as well. And then obviously make sure that they're signing up for the course, and then start planning in your match plays. So you may already know of existing events within the calendar. You can start maybe just penciling in some additional match plays with all this training in mind. And yeah, finally, if you do have any questions that hit you later, or you just want to check something out, then please do just either contact Alistair or myself. I've got my email address there. Drop me a question and be more than happy to help. Excellent. So we'll move on through to the World Tennis Number. Brilliant that as I came in, a lot of you are keen to hear about it, which is very reassuring from my point of view. Hopefully you can get sound through Teams. So if I just play a little clip, Claire, do you want to give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound as it comes through? Okay, the absence of a thumbs up is not a good sign. What we'll do is, it's much better with music, I promise you. This is sort of like a broad overview of the World Tennis Number. I'm going to talk through it anyway. I'll drop the link to Alistair so you guys can watch the video in all its glory after the presentation. But we'll skip through it for now, and we'll just go through the talking. So the World Tennis Number is coming live very, very soon. It's going to provide a global level-based player standard that will introduce a common tennis language across tennis players and non-tennis players alike in a very similar fashion to the golf handicap. It's going to enable and support much more appropriate and enjoyable matches between players of a similar level, using a much more accurate and dynamic system compared to our current rating system. It'll update each week, to provide players with that real-time measure of standard that can be trusted and relied upon. It will follow one scale for all players. So regardless of their age or gender, from the professionals right at the top of the game, all the way through to a player taking part in their first competition, they will all appear on the one scale. And for the very first time, it's also going to include doubles players. So every single player is going to get a separate World Tennis Number for both their singles and doubles play. And ultimately, we're introducing this number to make competition much more accessible and enjoyable for players of all levels. There's a real focus for those players at that recreational level of the game. So really helping them to understand and appreciate their standard of play in comparison to others, to make sure that they can find their best opportunities to compete, as well as making it far more easier for them to find someone to play with, enjoy a match against them, and then submit their scores back to the LTA. So for those of you that may be quite familiar with our more formal side of tennis competition, when you think of our current rating system, then you probably picture a junior player similar to this player. However, many of our players, especially across doubles, are probably more similar to the gentleman there on the left, or the females they're playing in the park. And it's really just, as cheesy as it sounds, there is a World Tennis Number for everybody. So it's very much the vision that, if you're regularly competing, or if you're in a club and you only turn up for the socials, or you just play some casual matches, then your World Tennis Number will be able to support you right across the board. So this number will be launching from the end of this month, and from January 2022, we'll be replacing the LTA rating system. So from the end of September, players will be able to see their World Tennis Number in their player dashboard on their LTA login. And for that period of October through to January, they'll be able to see how their number will change and flow with each match result that they enter into the system. And then from January 2022 onwards, the rating system will be removed, and in its place, the World Tennis Number will be there. So just to be absolutely clear, the ranking system is not changing at all and will still absolutely be part of competition acceptance and entry. It's simply anywhere that you currently see the LTA rating being used, the ITF World Tennis Number will be there in its place. So a bit more detail about the number. So junior players will receive their World Tennis Number on the 1st of January, the year that they're due to turn 10 years old. All current players that have an LTA rating will automatically receive their World Tennis Number, like I say, at the end of this month, and they'll be able to see that as part of their LTA login. Any new players that sign up to the LTA Advantage packages Play, Play Plus, or Compete will be issued with their World Tennis Number at that stage. If they previously have not ever recorded any matches, which is very likely if they're not an Advantage member at present, then they will be able to complete a player standard questionnaire, which is just a series of 5 questions asking them about their previous tennis experience. And that will be able to then issue them a more accurate number based on their previous experience. as soon as they start playing their matches, it will literally only take sort of 1 or 2 matches before the world tennis number will be able to more accurately determine their true ability, their true number based on the results that they are producing. So when a player goes to their LTA login, they will see an image similar to this, which will show them their world tennis number. So at the top here, you can see that they'll have the opportunity to toggle between their singles and doubles numbers. This is their number. So this player is currently showing as a world tennis number of 30.2. And as you can see, this is being displayed to 1 decimal place. Every country that adopts the world tennis number, and now there's currently 168 tennis nations that have said they're going to, will be able to have the choice of displaying either no decimal place up to a maximum of 2. And a player's number will be presented in the decimal places of the country that they are going to compete in. So, for example, France have taken the decision to display 2 decimal places. So if a player from France would compete in England, their number would only be displayed to 1. However, if this player was to go and compete in France, then their number would be displayed to 2 decimal places. We'll also introduce something called the game zone. So the game zone essentially highlights a range of players that are of similar ability to you, and will provide you with a list of local players that you're able to set up matches with and compete against in order to get the best experience on court and ultimately look to develop your world tennis number if that's what you wish to do. And that player search tool and game zone action will all be available as part of every player's LTA login as well. The little verified tick here will demonstrate that a player's number has reached a certain confidence value. So in very broad terms, a confidence value demonstrates how accurate that player's number is. So from future, when a player doesn't compete for a period of time, maybe because of injury, their actual world tennis number will not decrease at all. However, their verified status will start to drop off. Their confidence value will start to reduce. When they then start to play again, they'll very quickly build up that confidence value, and they'll have less movement in their number once they get to their stage. That was a very flyby visit of what the world tennis number looks like, but rest assured there's going to be a lot more support coming very soon, which I will talk you through in a second. So essentially, the world tennis number is based on 8 key principles. We won't go into all of these today, but if you do want to find out more information and really understand the detail behind the number, then I've got a following slide will show you where all the support is, and you can really take a look into each of these different principles to understand that number. So, in terms of help and support available, we have a comprehensive world tennis number guide that goes through all of the detail, including the principles and exactly how the number will work. We have a 6-minute and 14-minute video guide that are both available online, as well as a lot of promotional and educational materials that you may wish to share across the university with all of the students. We also have a venue resource guide. This venue resource guide breaks down all of the detail of the world tennis number and essentially helps you to use each of the resources in the most efficient way so that you can inform all of the students of what is coming. All of that is available at the website that you can see there, so lta.org.uk/world tennis number. And there are obviously a whole host of FAQs as part of our help centre as well. When the number launches later this month, all active players will receive an email to inform them that their world tennis number is now viewable within their LTA login, and they will be invited to attend one of our 10 LTA player and parent world tennis number webinars. So these are 1 hour webinars that go into all of the detail behind the number and provide a full explanation of how, why, and when a player's number will change. So I'd really encourage you, when that does go live, to make sure that as many students as possible that are interested signing up to one of those webinars. And as I mentioned, all of those dates and how to sign up will all be part of the email sent directly to players. We'll also at that time be launching an online learning course. So for anybody that may not be able to come to the webinar, they'll be able to complete a 30-minute online learning course, which goes through all of the detail around the world tennis number as well. So loads of support out there. Just go to that resources website and you can find it all in one place. And it's all downloadable, so you can share it as you wish with all of your members and all of the students as well.